Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are once more in front of Lalai to continue our Stormblood Black Mage quest. When the golems get tough. Desiree, I trust you have not been shirking your duties. Mr. Shatotto expects much of us, and I would not disappoint her. For my own part, I have called out to her intently time and again within my mind in hopes of conveying any and all information that might avail in staving off this impending disaster. Though she does not respond, I have a distinct sensation that she is listening in some way or another. Doubtless she will return when she sees fit, but in the meantime we can ill afford to bide our time, and so I have taken Zaya Nelha's advice. I can just see the smug grin on his face as I say that, and reached out to our friends. Not moments ago, a post-mural came by with a missive from our friend Dazar of the 269th Order. As luck would have it, it seems he has knowledge that might serve as well. To wit, reports of recent sightings of rampaging golems. I would ask you to go ahead and see what he knows. I will call for this holier than thou hero and join you shortly. Not that I am enamored of his company, far from it, but his insights have proven to be not altogether useless on occasion. Near Revenant's Toe, huh? Right here. Desiree, it's been eons, eras, ages, eons. I've heard that the spirit of a legendary Shatotto comes alive again inside Lalai, but could this wondrous tale possibly be true? It is indeed, friend Dazar. She's a capricious type, though, and wakes only when she has a mind to, a fact that I have explained some 700 times to this mutton-headed hero, who still insists beyond all reason that I should be able to summon her at will. You do me miscredit, Lalai. I merely suggested that if there were some means by which we could summon Shatotto at our own convenience rather than waiting for her to come forth of her own accord, it might serve us in facing the dangers ahead. Summon her? You speak of the illustrious founder of our art as if she were a mere serving girl. You will watch your tongue in the presence of your betters, Zayanella, lest... I meant no disrespect. I do not deny the power of your art, nor the good it can do in the right hands. I'm simply... too stubborn and stupid to fully accept it. Oh well. I suppose none of us are perfect, myself excluded, of course. 269th Order Mendicant Dazar, I presume? Tell me all you have seen or heard about this rampaging golem. Am I asked to be believed? Trusted? Sworn by? Believed? Is this truly the great Shatotto who stands before my eyes? Yes, it must be. I mean, but of course, my lady. Yes, Dazar will tell all he knows. I saw a strange golem, odd, curious, strange, wandering in the tangle. And that is not all. It was no ordinary golem, no, but rather the same one I saw in a tome handed down from my forebear Dagu. A golem of ancient mark. One of my own creations. Why, that is simply inconceivable. I designed them to be utterly rampage-proof and left copious instructions to ensure that my loyal apprentices, and their apprentices, and so on and so forth, would see they stay that way. Mayhap your followers were not so diligent in carrying out your orders after your passing? We all know of the chaos and destruction wreaked by Makai sorcerers during the War of the Magi. I suspect that poring over age-old documents on the upkeep of golems was the least of their concerns. Forgive me my doubts, Lady Shatotto, but you seem quite partial to your creations and your countrymen. If we were to find ourselves locked in combat with a golem of mark, do I have your assurance you would not hesitate to strike down our foe? You do not trust me. Trust us, as I know. I'm not deaf to Lalai's ceaseless grumblings, so be it. You cannot help being a simpleton, no more than I can help being the greatest intellect of any era. That old coot Kukuruka told me what became of Makai after my passing when he communed with me a century ago. Do you think I deny the sense of destruction caused by my descendants? With the art I myself wrought, no less? Of course not. For I, unlike some of my present companions, am not a bloody fool. But even a fool must understand that a tool is only as good or evil as she who wields it. So answer me this. What could I possibly stand to gain from standing idly by as my own creations wreak havoc on the realm I once called home? I will grant that there is some sense in what you say. In any event, we thank you for your assistance, Dazar. Rest assured that we will see to the rogue golem before any harm befalls you or yours. To the tangle. Does that overdweller never lighten up? It must be so tiring living each day carrying around a brain of solid stone. Burdensome, wearisome, tiring. You can say that again, my synonym-abusing friend. Desiree, you know the man better than I, and for that I pity you. Is there nothing we can do to buy ourselves a moment's respite from his inane quibbling? Whatever do you suppose is bothering his puny mind? May I be worries for a lie? Yes, I have observed this as well. Small minds are quick to burden themselves with hand-wringing concern for the well-being of others. As if it were not evident that the girl is more than capable of taking care of herself. In either event, if he insists on tagging along with us, I suppose it would not hurt to win him over. If only so that he does not foul things up at the worst possible time. Anyhow, I believe we have some golems to smite into oblivion. The tangle, was it? I see you there, and do try not to get lost in the way. This Shatotto is full of mysteries, but one baffles me the most. Just what is it about Lalai's cap that she finds so disagreeable? Was there no custom of wearing headgear in her age? These lands were far more dry and agreeable in my day, but I suppose much can change in 2 millennia, especially without me around to keep things in order. But this is no time to get caught up in nostalgia. We have golems to smash and search for. Not necessarily in that order, I suppose. Yes, I can sense particularly strong etheric energies coming from that direction. I will accompany Shatotto to ensure that she remains focused on the task at hand. But you survey the area south of here. These environments afford our foe no end of hiding spots, and I'm ill-inclined to walk into an ambush. You look far and wide, but can discern no sign of golems, rampaging or otherwise. We return to the southwestern reaches of the tangle and see how Shatotto and Zayanelha fare in their search. If only this body were my own, I would have raised that oversized block of stone to the ground. I suppose I should thank you for coming to my aid. Had I lost consciousness in the midst of battle, I would certainly have been done for. And poor Lalai with me. No, Lady Shatotto, it was I who owe you a debt of gratitude. Had you not drawn the creature's initial strike, I would surely have met an inglorious end. But that is not the least of my failings. It is my fault, and mine alone, that we were caught unawares. Though it shames me to say so, my eyes were on you, and they should have been watching out for our enemy. Who is this sorceress who wields such frightful power? Does she truly mean to save our realm, or will she destroy it? These thoughts continue to haunt me, but no more. Seeing you risk your life for me, a humble hero you have only just met, I say this with no reservation. You are a paragon of virtue, and a model to all mages, white or black. Why, I do believe those are the most intelligent words I have heard you utter yet. Keep talking like that, I might yet learn to tolerate your presence. But if you think that means I'm going to give you your precious Lalai back, you'd best think again. We still have a falling star to fend off, do we not? My precious Lalai? I have not the slightest idea what you might be implying. You wouldn't, would you? Was not your grand dream to see the white and the black, the arts of healing and destruction united for the common good? So says Lalai at the very least. Is the girl not an invaluable piece of a future you would realize? That is well and true, but invaluable and precious have different connotations. Mayhap not in your time, but the meaning of words evolve over time, you see, and what am I saying is, of course, Lalai is a friend and ally, but the same could be said of Desiree here, and which not to say I do not want to see her again, of course, only that... never mind. At any rate, I do believe we have done all we can here. Lady Shatotto, please forgive me for having doubted you. Henceforth, I promise that I will aid you in whatever way I can. And with that, I do believe I must be off, somewhere. One last thing, if I may, Lady Shatotto. While you are awake and speaking with us, what becomes of Lalai's consciousness? That is to say, is she still there, listening? What a curious question. She is slumbering in the recesses of her mind, much as I am when she is awake. But to answer your question, no, she is not listening. Though we do have some rather stimulating conversations from time to time. If you'd like, I can share the details. No, I mean, never mind. I really must be going off to... right, that place I was going. Are all men in this era so odd? At any rate, I feel my consciousness beginning to wane. Lalai will be breaking from slumber ere long, and I would return to Uldar before she does. I suggest you do the same. Your friend has much she wishes to discuss with you. Welcome back, Desiree. As you might have surmised, it is I, Lalai. Mr. Shatotto returned to her repose not moments ago. Before drifting off to slumber, she imparted to me some details regarding what she sees as the next phase of her task. To wit, she would have us venture further afield to investigate any golem menaces that might be stirring out of eyeshot. Speaking of menaces, whatever became of that stone-headed hero? I suppose it's too much to hope that Mr. Shatotto finally set his ropes alight? He has come to respect Lady Shatotto. I dare say it took him long enough. Still, we cannot hold the man's ignorance against him. Not all of us are blessed with burgeoning intellects. Anyhow, I trust you will keep me informed if our hero friend exhibits any more impertinent behavior. I will think of a suitable retribution. I dare say putting him to sleep and hiding his glasses would send a clear message. And be rather amusing, no less. In any event, I should return to my research, as should you. Shatotto will doubtless call upon us before long, and our powers must be primed for the occasion. Alright, what next? Unnatural selection. Desiree, the moment you entered the room I could feel the air crackling with etheric energy. Excellent, your diligence and your training will surely serve us well. And you come at the perfect time. Not moments before you arrived, Shatotto's voice called out to me from the recesses of my consciousness. She would have us begin to lay the groundwork for the final stage of our plan. And she made it quite clear that we will require all the aid we can muster. I have taken the liberty of reaching out to our beastmen friends. They have convened at Kazakh Char's residence at Burgundy Falls, where they await our arrival. Let us not keep them waiting. Of course, that's where they go. Off to the ends of the world. I'm not privy to the finer points of Lady Shatotto's plan, but I'm prepared to assist in any way I can. Was Dazar the first beastman to speak with Lady Shatotto? Yes, surely he was. Dazar is Shatotto's favorite, a chosen, a prized one, a favorite. Do not merely foresee a falling star some 2,000 years hence, but project one's own memory into the future to forestall it. Truly, the powers of Mr. Shatotto are beyond the comprehension of our ordinary minds. Ah, great honor, tremendous honor, trembling with excitement and awe, does all is. My friends, thank you for coming together on such notice. Mr. Shatotto would have you know that she's most grateful for your cooperation. In fact, I do believe she would rather speak to you directly. Since it would seem the gang's all here, I dare say it's time we got this proverbial show on the road. Hera, tell me that you have made yourself useful since I last saw your vapid face. Hi, Lady Shatotto. According to my colleagues in the Eorzean Alliance, patrols have sighted an increasing number of rampant golems afield. Fortunately, none have posed a significant threat, at least not as of yet. Which brings us to the matter of a comet. A colleague of mine at the observatorium has confirmed that it draws nearer with each passing hour. Though there's no imminent danger of a collision, if it stays on its present course... It's too close for comfort, yes. Fortunately I, as is my wont, have a plan. I simply hope that you, my friends, are up to the task. If a Hera speaks true, the golems that have been causing trouble near the city-states have been more bark than bite, filled with no great difficulty by middling soldiers. From this I surmise that the gems set within them, and their soulstones, have been small and of meager power at best. And yet, if my theory holds, a more sinister threat lurks in the realm's far reaches, far from the prodding eyes of Eorzean and beastmen alike. This is where we must go. Ah, perplexed Dozelis. By people, to do the work of people, are golems created. To travel so far from their master's domain, these constructs have no reason. True, is this not? Well, I'll be a passably astute observation, but I fear your knowledge is lacking, my squawking friend. Golems come in all shapes and forms, and not all are wrought by the hands of a mortal creator. Often a gem of sufficient etheric power will attract all manner of matter, plant, mineral, and animal alike, spontaneously animating it and giving rise to new life. With naught to guide them, these feral golems rove and wander at will. It is these unpredictable specimens that pose the greatest danger. The larger the gem that serves as their soulstone, the greater the power, and the greater the threat when the comet draws near. It would appear our task is clear. Let us split up and hunt down these abominations. I shall join our beatsmen friends and make for the west. I will leave the eastern reaches to the two of you. I trust you will be able to fend for yourselves. There is one matter in particular I would ask you to investigate. My friends at the Alliance conveyed to me a most curious report, which Lady Shatotto's words just now put in a rather different light. Over in Gerbania, in the hamlet of Alagana, villagers have claimed sightings of, in their words, trees that walk like man. These have gone entirely uninvestigated, written off as the delusions and fantasies of superstitious common folk. But if Lady Shatotto speaks true, which I do, they are golems beyond the slimmest shadow of a doubt. Why not? For Desiree and I will uproot them and reduce every last leaf and strip of bark to smoldering ash. Won't we, Desiree? I will leave the particulars regarding the means of destruction to the experts. I have, however, procured a link pearl that we might better coordinate our efforts. Pray, take it with you. And with that, I do believe we are as prepared as we could hope to be. Let us be off, my friends, and remember, should aught go amiss, I am but a link pearl call away. A device that allows a pretentious pudding head to talk to me even if I'm 100 miles away. Far be it from me to scoff at technological progress, but some inventions really could have been done without. Gearbania, and to Alagana we go. How interesting. While Mark has evolved into vermin-infested bog, Gearbania is, if anything, looking more lively than I remember it. Not that that's saying much, of course. But look at me, getting all nostalgic for no reason. After all, my body has long since returned to the dust, and soon even my memory will fade. But before that, we have a job to do, don't we? I can sense no unusual etheric presence here, so let us venture a bit further into the field. Come along, Desiree. I'm not the only one doing these quests. Did you come upon any wood golems, Desiree? As you can see, these two had the misfortune of coming upon little old me, but that's not all I saw. Yes, it was a most remarkable and most horrifying sight. After I delivered a mortal wound to one of the creatures, I saw it extend a gnarled limb, and with the last ounce of its strength, tried to rip the soulstone from its god's chest. Yes, it would seem these feral golems have no qualms about cannibalizing each other, which has led me to a quite frightening conclusion. To wit, oh, of all the... Whatever could that four-eyed fool want all at a time like this? Yes, if you have something to report, make it... What? Yes, it would be wise for you to make a discreet retreat. We'll do the same. I would re-evaluate our options in light of these most troubling developments. Very well, I will join you at the observatorium shortly. Do give her all the information you can from your colleagues before I arrive. Gods be God, that hero has actually proven himself useful. It would seem he came upon a most startling scene in the hinterlands. A mass influx of golems of all shapes and sizes, as if summoned from all reaches of a realm by some unholy force. I have my own theory as to what this means, but I require more knowledge before plotting our next step. And one thing I can say is that we should immediately begin preparing for the worst. In any event, we must move, and quickly. You return to Burgundy Falls in the price of beastmen of where we stand. I shall go on ahead to the observatorium and see what knowledge the astrologians have gleaned, and join you as soon as I'm able. Perhaps the golems are having a feast, a banquet, a revel, a feast. Or feasting on what I would rather not speculate. No, not thinking. Ah, so many golems. Dozol has never seen. In a flutter are Dozol's feathers. Friends, comrades, Brothers and sisters of the Black, we stand on the brink of a disaster most dire. Even as we speak, our foe grows in number. Beings of sentient stone and wood gather, summoned by an unknown force and united for a common purpose. A purpose beyond our understanding. Beyond your understanding perhaps, but not mine. The golems make for Somal. In Giabania I witnessed a most unsettling sight. A golem with an almost animal fury tearing into its cohort's chest. Disturbing as it was all too clear what I was witnessing. The creature sought a stronger soulstone, that it might augment its strength and prolong its own existence. But the power these creatures seek is not limited to that which they can harvest from their own. No, they are forever in search of a more potent etheric source. And they have finally found one. The astrologians at the observatory have confirmed my worst fears. The baleful star of our past slowly but inexorably changes course, bringing it closer and closer to this star. It is as Lady Shatotto says, the golems call out to it, beckoning it closer. According to the latest calculations, any further adjustments to its path, and it is all but certain to strike Eorzea head-on. The baleful creatures would climb to the highest peak in the land, and summon their mother stone to bring disaster to our realm? Inconceivable. And yet it is just so, my friend. Unless we destroy the whole lot of them, a collision is all but inevitable. And yet there are simply too many. Even if we could thin their ranks, they would regrow themselves and regroup in no time. So we are done for? Doomed? Defeated? Done for? Do not give up hope, my frenetic friend. Or do you forget that the most brilliant mind to ever walk the face of Eorzea stands before you? Allow me to propose a foolproof plan. We do absolutely nothing at all. For now, that is. We know that the golems are feeding on each other in pursuit of greater and greater power, so why not sit back and let this process of unnatural selection take its course, till we are left with but a single foe. Out of her mind, Shatotto is. Were that to happen, a creature of untold power and presence that golem would be. Quite so. It would be the mother of all automata. The golem equivalent of yours truly, if you will, and by definition, one of the most formidable foes our realm has ever seen. Fortunately, I do believe there's one among us who might stand half a chance against such a monstrosity. Desiree? Lady Shatotto insists that you hold, and you are the key to this entire operation. I'm not inclined to doubt her, but I would hear it from your own lips. Can you say with all certainty that you would emerge victorious over this hypothetical golem of mythical proportions? I can do this. Thank you, my friend. Your courage inspires me. Pray let me offer my strength, that together we may secure the future of our realm. I doubt Desiree and I will have much need of your services, but do feel free to tag along. It would be my honor, and with that I should take my leave. I must warn the people of the nearby settlements to keep a wide berth of a great peak. Mayhap I will even have occasion to smash a golem or two on my journey. Color me impressed, Desiree. Your friends are proving more reliable by the minute. And with that I should return to the Sacrarium, where my grip on consciousness grows more tedious by the moment. Pray return when you can, and speak with Lalai upon her awakening. Ah, Desiree. I have called out to Shatotto, but to no avail. No doubt she is deep in slumber, gathering her strength for the battle to come. She did, however, leave a message for you. Slack not in your training, my puppet of destruction, for your power will be tested as never before. That is not ominous in the least, is it? In any event, I trust you will be up to the task. Okay, and once more I think I end the episode here, and we continue this next time. Until then, I'm Ace, and don't get lost.